There's a really interesting thing. Anytime I bring up Penn State on the show, it's understood. The program's in a really good spot. But there's also this, what I call a Saban warp, that has been on the sport for about a decade and a half now, to where the perception of success has been totally skewed by a program winning half a dozen national championships, which is unrealistic compared to any other point in history. And I'm very curious if you've felt that, like inside the business of 4 11-win seasons, a Big Ten championship, Rose Bowl last year, in another era, maybe just in the early 2000s, that would be looked at as the pinnacle of Penn State football. And internally, it may be looked at that way, but nationally, people look and say, well, yeah, but you haven't done this. Do you ever feel that? You ever feel like the era you're competing in has been totally warped in terms of perception?
Yeah, and I think the point you brought up is a good one. I think that's part of kind of the BCS when that started, and now obviously the new system we're in. But I think that's been kind of the challenge, right? I mean, you're talking about New Year's bowl games, which used to be kind of what everybody worried about, and now it's kind of the playoffs or bust, especially if you're at a place that people would consider a top 15 job, a blue blood. Then I do think that's kind of the nature of it. That's kind of the nature of college football now. If you're at this type of program, it's competing for a national championship or nothing. And I think that is really challenging. To me, it's also interesting when you think about when we got this job and what the job was like and where the program was at the time, coming in at a very challenging time in Penn State's history. There was talk that the program wouldn't be back until now. People are saying it won't be back for 10 years. So I am proud of that. But I do have really high expectations and standards. So I embrace kind of, those discussions and those thoughts that people are talking about, nationally, but really, to be honest with you, regionally and specifically to the Penn State people. I understand clearly what the expectations and the standards are here, but I think your point is a good one and is a valid one. It's changed college football dramatically.